All right, Schlockmeister fans, from the Max Picos collection, we're going to watch I Am a Nymphomaniac. Let's check it out.
That's for my mother.
That's
so
Carole.
20 years, all she could say was, "Would you like a cup of coffee, Henry?" As if she didn't know. That's all he ever drank.
Sandra Julian plays Carole there. That's her parents.
10 cups a day, and no sugar.
Oh, I go home.
This is her boyfriend, Eric. Every time he makes a move on her, she shoots him down. She's a little frigid, no interest in extracurricular activities. Her boss is also a cad.
Disappointing. I'm looking for a faithful mistress, and all I find is a faithful employee. I'm a victim of the morality of the working class. Oh, well. Goodbye. I'll try again.
So this is the big action sequence of our film. She steps out. I don't know if this is a staircase or what it is, but somehow she falls. After she recovers, she finds herself interested in her body for the first time.
I felt the first symptoms of the sordid compulsion that nearly ruined my life. I just had to see you.
After she's done exploring herself, she wants to explore Eric.
I have to. I mean, I want
That fall has turned her into a nymphomaniac. So she starts to put the moves on Eric, because now she's finally interested.
To save face, I cried out, "Oh, what do you think I am, a whore?"
But he doesn't do it with her.
No. No.
He was just freaked out.
Oversexed. A nymphomaniac.
So since Eric didn't put out, she knows that the hippies on the beach will. So she goes to them.
She's in the boss's office.
Eric comes to visit
Well, what the hell
her
are you laughing
at
at?
work.
There's nothing funny about that.
But there is. Because she's been in there with him for an hour.
And he finds her. Post-coital. Busted.
That my daughter is a whore?
Mom and Dad are
That's right,
mad.
a whore. A shameless slut. A nymphomaniac. What did I ever do to deserve this?
Try and speak to her. Maybe Carole has a reason.
There can't be any reason for becoming a whore.
Her parents kick her out of the house. She ends up being transferred to a job in Paris.
My brother told me everything. Now let's forget about all of it.
That's her boss, Muriel.
Stupidity is outweighed.
Muriel swings both ways.
She had a way of making me feel at ease.
And things get a little hot and heavy. There's much more to this scene, which unfortunately I can't show you. She realizes her behavior isn't great, so she decides to see a shrink.
It's curable. It's quite possible your friend is suffering from a slight traumatic shock.
She says it's for her friend, but it's her.
Imbalance. You make it
She invites her over, Muriel does, to be with, I think it's her husband or boyfriend, I don't know, and guess what happens then?
Carole should relax more.
She decides maybe the church can help her, but when she sees the priest, for some reason, she flees. At one point, she's driving around, Carole picks up a hitchhiker, and she's getting randy ideas with her, too. So she pulls the car over and makes her move.
Crazy?
But the hitchhiker's not into that. She decides to visit the priest again.
I feel terribly weak.
God is testing you.
He abandons me just when
You mustn't sin by losing hope, my child.
But no matter what, she just can't shake this horniness. And when she doesn't have a person, she has herself. Use your imagination, because I gotta stop now. This is her on a merry-go-round, eyeing up some of the local help. I think she could do a little better. Nonetheless, she takes what she can get when she can get it. visit her. And let's just say they all have a good time together. I'm not exactly sure what this scene is. I think she's in a delirious state. And now she's about to cut her wrists.
It isn't my fault.
Which sends her to the hospital.
Take away. Make me.
But she survives. Again, I think she's kind of delusional here, coming in and out of consciousness, dream states. But with the help of a priest and a friendly doctor, she's gonna be okay.
Do you think you can save her? A healthy young body doesn't accept death easily. The doctor diagnosed her case? I don't know. And what's most serious in her case is that by believing that she's an nymphomaniac, due to her uncontrollable sexual cravings, I believe she acts like a real nymphomaniac.
Parents, her father sent a telegram. He refuses to come and get her. What are we going to do? We can't discharge her in that condition.
Maybe the doctor will take her home.
Pack her things. I'll take her with me.
It was merciless. There were some questions that I was too ashamed to answer. But Michael encouraged me.
You have to answer, Carole.
It's impossible. I tell you, I can't answer those questions. I don't want to remember all those things. Against him.
So she gets a desire for her doctor now, Michael.
Toward Michael.
She strips in front of him. But he's not having it.
The force that had drawn me to Michael that night, right to his room, had nothing to do with the neurotic, purely sexual and physical craving.
She's falling for him.
That had driven me into other men's arms.
So she ran into Muriel, and Muriel invited her over for an orgy.
For his sake, to prove I deserved his confidence. I was shaking inside.
It's a big test for
but
her.
I had to go through with it.
So she goes.
Well, well. Look who just walked in.
She decides to flee. She has passed the test. No orgy for her. Our film ends with her and Michael on a beach. I guess they're gonna live happily ever after now. And she's no longer a nymphomaniac. All right, let's talk about the movie I Am a Nymphomaniac from this Max Bekas collection here. There's a documentary on here. They pronounce it Pecos. Now, being French, I thought it might be pronounced Picard, but nope, it's apparently Pecos. So anyway, Max Bekas, he's done a couple of movies that I've reviewed over the years, including House of a Thousand Pleasures and I Am Frigid, Why?, which are both on this Blu-ray compilation, by the way. The only bad thing is, it's not really bad, but House of a Thousand Pleasures, although I have an English-speaking version of it, they could not track down an English-speaking version, so it has subtitles. But the other two have English soundtracks. But anyway, to the movie itself. Now, with a title like I Am a Nymphomaniac, you're thinking it's going to be some tawdry sex comedy, but it's actually not that at all. It's actually an intriguing drama, and it even has some actual doses of eroticism in it. If you look on IMDb, there's currently 4 reviews that people have done, and they are all glowing about it. And there's 2 reviews that were done from critic reviews. And one of them was in French, so I didn't read that one. But the other one you can put in English, and that also has a pretty good endorsement of the film as well. So people think highly of this film. Nobody's seen it, though. But anyway, it's a movie starring Sandra Julian. She was also the star of I Am Frigid, Why? And she falls down, the IMDb in 2 places calls it an elevator shaft, but it's not really. It's just like a staircase. Somehow, I don't even know how she did it, but you saw she fell. And then from that moment on, she became a nymphomaniac. Prior to that, she was somewhat frigid. She wouldn't allow her boyfriend to touch her, that sort of thing. But falling from, 3 stories from a staircase, and didn't break a bone in her body, but it did make her a nympho. So next thing you know, she starts sleeping around. She sleeps with her boss. She sleeps with some hippies on the beach. She sleeps with her new boss after she gets exiled to Paris to work in some fashion shop or something. And her boss there is a woman, and they have a lesbian thing. And then she has a threesome with that woman's boyfriend, husband. I don't know who he is, but anyway, the entire film is virtually narrated by her. as everything goes on, and she realizes she has a problem. She doesn't know what to do. She doesn't like it, but she can't help herself. She goes to see a priest and asks him about that. Eventually, she sees a shrink as well, and when she can't take it anymore, she tries to commit suicide by slashing her wrists. Doesn't work. She ends up in the hospital, and the doctor decides, I'll take her home, when her father says that he won't come to pick her up. So the doctor takes her home and basically tries to cure her of her nymphomania. One day, while Carole is out, she runs into her old boss who was on vacation for 30 days in Japan on a business trip. The woman, what was her name? Muriel. And Muriel invites her to an orgy that evening. So she goes home and tells the doctor, Michael, about it. And doctor's like, you got to go. You just got to go. This is a big test for you. So she goes to the orgy. She shows up and she gets felt up a little bit, but eventually she gains control and walks out of there and goes back to Michael. And then the last scene we see is Michael and her on a beach somewhere, and they're going to probably kiss and no doubt made love after that. And that's how our movie ends. So I guess she got cured of her nymphomania and lived happily ever after with Michael and somewhere in Marseille or something. Who knows? But anyway, that is I Am a Nymphomaniac. Again, this film was actually very well done. I'm surprised by it. Max Pekas did a great job directing this. There's all kinds of even dreamy type sequences, and it's just very stylish. It's quite surprising for a film like this. Again, you're thinking some sort of private screenings jiggle and giggle movie, but it's not that at all. It's actually a very well done film. So there you go. Now, aside from all that, yeah, it does have plenty of nudity, plenty of it. Full frontal everything. Sandra Julian's a beautiful actress. The only bad thing is she had hairy armpits, but whatever. But anyway, you can overlook that because there's hair everywhere else you can see. So anyway, that's it. It's I Am a Nymphomaniac. Now, I got this from this Max Pekas collection. This is a brand new collection put out by the good folks at Mondo Macabro. And you should definitely check it out. I didn't see this on eBay, or I'm sorry, YouTube, I mean. Not YouTube, I didn't see it on Amazon, so I didn't have a link to that down below, but if it shows up, I'll put that down there instead. There's an old DVD down there instead, but I wouldn't recommend that. Just go right to Mondo Macabro's site and buy this Blu-ray, because it's a pretty good collection. So check it out, leave some comments, let me know what you think, but I Am a Nymphomaniac. Watch it. Bye.